everything in the beginning.
Well, we do.
There's nothing like getting back on the field, which is, I know exactly what you wanted to do.
Yeah, it was very exciting for us to get back as far as our staff, our players, with all the stuff that's gone on over the last few months to get back to football, which is what we're here to do, coaching and the players here to play it. It was very good to have the walkthrough this morning and be out here running around. Hopefully we'll continue to get more and more guys. As you guys saw early, a number of our freshmen were in some study hall for summer school classes to make sure they're taking care of that first. So they came out late, and then we also had a few issues. Both tackles didn't practice. The left tackle, Khalil, was out with a hamstring, and the right tackle, Tyron Smith, was at a funeral for his family.
I know the players may have had a few butterflies. What about you?
No, I thought for about 2 seconds about that today before I came out, but I didn't. And I was going back to the last place that I was at and going through the first practice. And maybe there was a little butterflies because there was the knowing that this is so natural, because it's the same walk, it's the same field, a bunch of the same coaches that we were here with before. And I was here for 6 years, so it really felt no different than being here before.
What pleased you the most about day one?
I think our guys' execution. To see our guys come out here for the first day, a bunch of new faces. We were miles ahead of our first day of spring ball. And after our first day of spring ball, I was a little disappointed in our assignments and execution by our players. And so we've come a long ways, but obviously we have a long ways to go too.
Will day two be as long as day one?
I don't know that yet. We'll go back and look at the film. What we did do is you have what are called walkthroughs on one-a-days, and a lot of programs really speed those up and really take advantage of basically another practice without a ball. We didn't do that. We came out here and our walkthrough was very toned down and very slow, so we could have a great full practice today.
What have you told these players they are playing for?
They're playing for 13 games, and their goal is always the same as it's always been. Is to win every game that we play, and so none of that's changed. I don't think if you go back over the years and talk to players, and I've talked to a number of great players that have played here, nobody was playing because of a bowl game. They were playing because for SC football and then for their own future at the next level.
Do you feel a difference at all about less crowd? When you were here before, there was a lot of fans, boosters, that type of stuff.
Yeah, it obviously was less today. Basically, you guys were the only guys here, but it really didn't matter. We get so into coaching throughout the practice that after the first 10 minutes,
you explained that you kind of slowed down the walkthrough part of it. Do you have to watch reps, Lane, because of the lower scholarships?
Yeah, we do, definitely, especially at the beginning of practice, not having some of our freshmen and already down to 71, 70 with Christian Tupu out, and Soma's not here yet. Academically, that's 69, so yeah, we are at a lower number. And day one, it's not near as important, but it'll be a lot more important as we get in and start losing guys, getting guys banged up.
You feel like you got enough time to play Hawaii in 3 weeks?
Yeah. It's going to be plenty of time. Really, we don't need more time because of less players. So we'll maximize our practices, but making sure that we stay healthy as well.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Staff and our players to get out here and for us to coach, for them to play, which is what we're here to do. Put all the other stuff behind us, as I talked about last week. It's a new time, new president, new athletic director, new coaching staff, and a new team. So it was exciting to get out here. Very pleased with the execution of practice. A lot better than, for instance, spring practice number 1. You can already tell the backs have come a long ways from that point. So we still missing some guys. With some, Khalil was out with a hamstring, left tackle, right tackle. Tyron Smith was at a funeral today, so he missed. And then a couple guys banged up here and there. So we'll continue to develop all our guys, get our freshmen out here. They were in some summer school tutors, so they were late today. We'll continue to build on this camp. Armand started practice, came out with dehydration, and took him in. I believe we gave him an IV.
Thank you. All right, I'll see you.
Coach, you were here when these sidelines were packed for practices. How does that change these guys? I mean, is there, not that there doesn't focus on the football field, but I mean, how does that change the dynamic of practice?
I didn't feel any difference. Just the NCAA rule to limit it's not our rule. But I don't think it had anything to do with our players' practice or our coaches coaching. I know it didn't me. I didn't feel any difference. The first 10 minutes maybe you noticed it, but after that, it didn't make a difference.
Do you like it better as a coach not to have that many people in here, or does it matter to you?
I don't know. I really don't think it has anything to do with winning or losing games. And so, for you guys that cover us, that's really what we're about, is recruiting and winning and losing games, things that matter. And so I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Do you expect Tyron back tomorrow?
Yes, yeah, he actually showed up here. He got
did.
back from the funeral services right at the end, but didn't have time to get dressed and get out here.
Is it a family member
Yes.
or something? Okay. And what about Khalil? How long is he going to be out for?
He actually did our walkthrough this morning, and it was bothering him some. He actually did our beginning of this practice. Just couldn't keep going. Something that I guess he aggravated last week in conditioning drills.
Is Butch a guy that you're looking at who can be like a utility man on the offensive line in a way?
Yeah, Butch has done that here, and we're continuing to do it with him. He's a very intelligent player, and so really he's played all 4 spots besides center, and he can end up doing that as well.
You mentioned being more NFL style. Were there certain things that you actually put in this week?
Not necessarily yet. I think that will come as our numbers start to diminish with injuries, later on in camp. And so, we were out here for a long time today and got a lot of work done.
Will the practices continue to be that length through training camp, or are you going to shorten them as?
Yeah, we're just going to have to play it by ear. We probably won't be able to, as our numbers start to diminish, as we put pads on as well and the practices become more physical, we probably won't be able to keep up that length.
When is the first full pads practice?
That would be practice 5.
5. Okay. Did anybody stand out to you today in a positive way? Any particular players?
Yeah, Dylan Baxter, just continues to improve dynamic, a couple dynamic plays today, just like he was in the spring, but now he has a better understanding for the offense. Ronald made some big plays, really same old stories, dominant defensive line performances in there, Ronald making big plays, Matt's throws, and Dylan, kind of same story.
The 2 freshman receivers besides Prater, you weren't really able to see them over summer as they practiced with the team. Were you pleasantly surprised at what you saw?
Yeah, I was. They're both playing flanker for us, rotating in there, both made a couple plays today. Marquise seems to be really smooth. Robert seems to be really, really fast. So they're in really good shape right now for having one practice with us.
Do you foresee them getting playing time this year?
This is one practice. We can't really foresee anything yet. We've got a long ways to go. They can barely line up right now. It's our first day with them.
What are you looking to see out of Sharice Wright this year?
Continued improvement. We're going to move him around some in some different spots, some different alignments, try to really, if we can, feature him in some different ways. So we can continue to development, kind of what we went into our approach in the fall last year with Eric Berry. Kind of try to feature him and do different things with him as well.
How good can he be if he reaches that potential?
I think he can be really good. He's added some weight on his upper body. I think you'll notice it's different than it was in the spring, and so I think he's got a lot of potential.
What about the returners who missed most of the spring? Drew McAllister, other guys. Did you like what you saw in Red Ellis?
Yeah, it was hard to see that much out of Drew. He did do some things, but he's still a little bit limited. So we'll go back and watch the tape when he did and continue to do more with him. And it was very good to have Rhett back. Rhett played fullback for us. We have one scholarship fullback right now, which is Stanley, who we don't want to beat up a lot. So Rhett played back there as well and did a lot of stuff for us.
Could that be a long-term thing?
It may have to.